Census data released overnight has confirmed a generational shift in Australia, with millennials now rivalling baby boomers as our largest generation. Those aged 25 to 39 make up 21.5% of the population, the same as those in the 55 to 74 age bracket. The snapshot also found that nearly half of all Australians have had a parent born overseas, and more Australians are identifying as Indigenous.
Overall, our population has doubled since 1971 to 25.5 million people. Lots of detail to unpack with Stephanie Boris in Parliament House. Good morning to you, Steph. You don't need to sort of love statistics to want to dive into this census and find out what it tells us about Australia.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to admit I'm loving this, Lisa, but you did, so I can then as well. This data all comes from last year. All of us across Australia were asked to fill out this form in August. So this is the 2021 census, and it confirmed that we've got 25.5 million people here in Australia, which is 2 million more than the last census in 2016. So the question is exactly, who are we all? Well, the largest cohort of people is now at a tie. It used to always be baby boomers first, but now it's the Millennials, which is that 25 to 39-year-old age group too. So in both of those cohorts, they have 5.4 million people. So they're the largest generational groups. Christianity remains the most common religion here in Australia, over 40% of people, but that figure is dropping. If we take a look back at previous censuses, in 2016, it was just over 50% of people putting Christianity as their religion. It was 60% in 2011. There are, though, more people reporting no religion, almost 40%. That's an increase from 30% in 2016. Now, as we know, Australia is a very multicultural society, and this is shown through the figures of the census. Almost half of Australians have a parent born overseas, and nearly 28% of people living here were born overseas. In terms of where people were born, of course, first is Australia, followed by the United Kingdom, but India is now ranked third in terms of the number of people born overseas. So that does mean we've got a lot of people speaking different languages here as well. And Mandarin continues to be the most common language that's spoken at home apart from English, followed by Arabic. And then when it comes to the setup of households across Australia, the number of marriages compared to 2016 has declined slightly, and the number of divorces are slightly up.
And so they're the changes in the population. There were some new questions as well this year.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of new questions. The reason they're put in is to further help both state and federal governments look at, maybe what policies need to be introduced or how to better prepare Australia for the future. So one of those questions was around long-term health conditions. Over 2 million people say they've either got a mental health condition, arthritis or asthma. And of those 2 million, more female than men ticked the yes box. Also, we've got more than 500,000 Australians that are either serving in the Defence Force or have served in the ADF, and nearly 25,000 same-sex marriages since the Marriage Act was changed in 2017. Now, a lot of figures to take in. Some may be more interesting to people than others, but my personal favourite fact, Lisa, out of this data is the caravans. Now, COVID-19 really changed the way not only that we lived, but how we travelled, what we did, and the latest census data says 60,000 caravans are now here in Australia. It's a 150% increase since the last census. So it shows that people are getting on the road and travelling around Australia and seeing all those beautiful sights that are to be seen.
Absolutely. I love the fact that Australia does this census. Not all countries do them. Not all countries have the number of questions as well. I will let you to dive back into the figures, Steph. We'll catch up again soon.